Hello and welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA podcast. I am Matt Anderson. On the other side of your screen, we have Dorian Rose. How you doing this week, man?
What's up, man? We're doing good. Another kind of gloomy day. Got some severe thunderstorm warnings, so been kind of rainy and gloomy. So been kind of kick back chilling. We was playing a little bit of PS earlier. Had to give you some of these. Had to give you a few of these real quick. But been good, man, and excited to talk about the fights, man. Last week, as we were talking about before, nothing but finishes, and I'm really intrigued to the main event this weekend. So I am pumped to be doing the pod today.
Indeed, man, indeed. And same here, dude. Actually fucking thunderstorming right now. So if like this light just happens to go off over here, it's because I lost power on fucking that side of the house because for some reason, like whenever it's fucking thunderstorming, like this whole side of my house just loses power for some reason. Not always, just every now and then. So it just light goes out. That's what happened. But yeah, man, rough day at work for me. Super long day. Glad to be off of work, off of work now, and just ready to be doing the pod. So before we get into it, let me give you guys a quick rundown on what we're going to talk about today, and then we'll jump right in. So up first, we're going to talk about this past weekend's card, our picks, just the main takeaways from the card. Really, not a whole lot of known fighters, but 10 fights, 10 finishes. Just have to mention that. And nextly, we'll talk about fight news, fight announcements, everything that happened over this past week. And lastly, we will be talking about this upcoming weekend's card. We've got Dominic Cruz taking on Chito Vera in the main event, and we're going to be giving you our picks and our opinions, our thoughts on that card. But before we get started, if you guys wouldn't mind, thumbs up down there would be fantastic. And everyone new, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, come on now. That would really help us out. Slowly grinding away. Dorian, guess how many subscribers we have currently right now as we speak?
Is it the same number that Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz represent?
It is not. It's actually more. We got 228 right now, man. So 228, slowly grinding, dude, making our way up to the 500 mark and then on to the 1,000 mark. But yeah, let's not ramble on anymore, dude. First topic of today's show, this past weekend's card, man. So as I said at the beginning, 10 fights, 10 finishes, dude. These sleeper cards that aren't too good tend to happen just that way, dude. And I don't want to say they were the best fights ever because a few of them like did go kind of like damn, this went all the way to the third. It was boring as shit, and then she got to finish, like some stuff like that. But just from the main card, real quick, I'll just give you the results. Jamahal Hill gets the fourth round TKO over Maheta Thiago Santos. Jeff Neal, this one surprised the absolute shit out of me, dude. Jeff Neal just beat the brakes off of Vicente Luque. Third round TKO finished. First time the Luque's ever been finished. Little brother of Muhammad Usman, but really the big brother. Second round TKO over Zach Palga. Juliana Miller. I said Mania. She was on Team Pena. There we go. That's what got me mixed up there. Gets the third round TKO over Brogan Walker. Sergey Spivak gets the second round TKO over Agusto Sakai. Terrence McKinney, first round sub over the Ghost Pepper, Eric Gonzalez. And then pretty much the main event of the prelim, Sam Alvey just getting the brakes beat off him by Mikhail Olashejek. And since there's only three more, I'll just give them to you. Brian Battle, first round TKO would be a nasty head kick. Corey McKenna gets that what is it? The Von Flu choke over Miranda Granger in the
first one in
round.
women's UFC history too.
Indeed. And Mario Bueno Silva getting an armbar over Stephanie Egger, and some controversy there. Everyone's like, did she tap? Did she didn't tap? But anyway, she ended up getting that at the end of the night, and she was way too dramatic. If you ask me, just take the fucking win. It is what it is. But she's going on and on about it. Like, damn. All right, cool. Like, we got you. Like, she's crying and shit like that. Like, I would never do that. Like, all right, you won, you know. But that being said, those are all the results. But let's start off at the top. We both did pick Jamahal Hill, dude. And I basically thought this was going to go, how it went. I guess if I have one thing that kind of surprised me was, man, Thiago Santos really showed up fucking Saturday night, dude. He was not messing around. He actually came to fight. He's looked better than I've seen him look in a long time. On the other hand, Jamahal Hill just did what we thought he was going to do, put the pressure on him, not ever go away, and just really just look to counter him in the middle of chaos. What he's the best at, if you ask me. But I guess, what are your takeaways from this fight? And throughout that, can you tell me something that you learned from Jamahal Hill in this fight that you didn't know before?
Well, I think just to answer that question real quick, I think the thing that we learned is, if there is any type of adversity or any pressure put towards him, is he able to face any of that adversity and come through? Because, in a lot of his fights, he's immediately put the damage on the guys and got him out of there. He hasn't really been in a prolonged fight to where a guy's not going to go away easy. And I really think that he was able to show that grit in him that we haven't seen before. Thiago Santos, I think you pointed it out as well, and that was one of my big takeaways from the whole fight was Thiago Santos. He really showed up, and he was really there to put on a good performance. The last couple of fights he has looked a little bit lackluster as far as not really wanting to go for it as much as he has in the past. And I thought in this fight, he really mixed it up well. He was mixing up the striking pretty well. He was willing to stand in the pocket and exchange with Jamahal Hill on a couple of those exchanges. Caught him with a couple good right hands. And I liked how he switched to the orthodox stance and was able to land that body kick a couple of times and was able to kind of keep Jamahal Hill at range. And I thought Jamahal Hill was really, had a lot of adversity to overcome. He was actually down 2-1 on the judges' scorecard going into that fourth round, which really surprised me. Which I thought Jamahal Hill was actually up 2-1. But Thiago Santos used a lot of his wrestling and just nonstop pressure. And Jamahal Hill, no matter how many times he got taken down, was able to get right back up on his feet, get back up, and was able to land those damaging shots in the fourth round and was able to get him out of there. So I like the grit that Jamahal Hill showed.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. You actually took my point there right at the end. Was Jamahal Hill has no problem getting back to his feet if he's gotten taken down. Like you saw, like for example, like the Kevin Holland, like versus like the Thiago Santos fight. Fucking Thiago Santos was able to just take him down and just hold him there. Like Jamahal Hill fantastically had no issues getting up every single time. As soon as he hit the ground, popped right back up and just showed that, dude, I don't know why people are giving him hate right now. Like, he's good as shit, in my opinion.
Yes.
But I'm a fan of him. That's just me. Any other
Yes.
takeaways like from this fight, man?
Yeah, man, that right hand that he's got, I know he's saying that southpaw stance, and I know we were kind of talking about it. You said it's, pretty telegraphed, but it telegraphed or not, dude, that thing is a battering ram when he throws that check right hook. He keeps everybody at distance with that thing. Nobody wants to get get too close to him because he is good about throwing it. And that's his distance closer as well, because that was a shot that he was able to land on Santos when he was able to put him away. So I think the same thing as you just said. Don't know why many people are going to try to doubt him as far as his abilities, because he's a super talented fighter, good personality, and I think he's a good refreshment for the division in a whole.
How'd you like the suit, man? After the fight.
Man, he was looking fly. He normally comes, and that's one thing I can always give him credit for. Now, most of his fights, he normally does come pretty fly. But I wanted to get your opinion real quick because he had called for a title shot, and just wanted to see real quick your thoughts on him potentially getting the title shot off of that win.
How about this? Just real quick, just like a little, like a side note, just like the division as a whole right now. I believe, bro, this is a tough one because you don't know what's going to happen with the championship. If Glover does get that shot, give me Ankalaev versus Hill, and the winner of that gets the next title shot. Fuck Jan, dude. I don't really care, man. Like, he's not that interesting, if you ask me. Like, you got a win off of a hurting like a leg, so it's not like you don't really deserve a title shot. Fight someone else. Fight just Uzdemir. He just now came off of a big win, dude. You know, just fucking something like that. Who the hell knows? That's my preference on what I would like to see happen. How about you?
I mean, for myself, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing potentially, because I know that Volkan Oezdemir is actually matched up with Nikita Krylov right now on that UFC 280 card as well. You can maybe say the winner of that fight, because I think they'll be right in the middle of that top five. I think Jamahal Hill was what, 10, Thiago Santos was 6. So he'll probably be around that 6, 7 range. I think the winner of the Krylov and Uzdemir fight might be around similar to that same range. You can either say the winner of that fight or potentially a fight with Jan for sure. I would like to see a fight between either one of those two. Some people were saying Dominic Reyes, but I don't want to see Dominic Reyes
I
come
completely
back
like
to that
forgot
fight.
about fucking Dominic Reyes, dude.
Yeah,
Like, I haven't even seen him
no,
fight in so long. It's like,
no, I seen some people say Reyes. No, I don't want to see that. I want to see Reyes get a little bit of an easier fight. Don't do that to Reyes. But yeah, I want to see Jamahal Hill, progress towards a title shot. Doesn't deserve one right now, but maybe if he gets one more spectacular win, I think he very well could.
if he gets a win out of anyone in the top 4, I think he's for sure in line, dude. Because like
Yeah,
everyone there
definitely.
has either had the championship or everyone thinks that they could be like the champion. But let's not spend too much longer on this, man. One that where how about that? We both picked Jamahal Hill to win, and he did indeed get that dub, dude. One that we both picked incorrect on. We both did pick Vicente Luque here, and man, Jeff Neal just surprised the fuck out of me personally, dude. It was just like he cracked Luque early, and it was almost like fucking Luque could never like recover. It's like he kept getting cracked with that. I believe it was like a left straight, maybe, but I don't
Yeah,
know. Just a
yeah, he
straight
was
dude.
southpaw.
He kept getting cracked with it over and over, and it's like, Jesus Christ, man, you have to move your head a little bit. I know you have a great chin, dude. I'm surprised that first one that buckled his like fucking legs didn't knock him down, but he was up for like a little bit longer. Came back strong in the second round. I thought he won round 2, but in round 3, dude, fucking Jeff Neal just really just upped it, going back to what had happened in the first round, and just really got Luque out of there. Hit him with like a fucking 100 uppercut piece, right? Is that like the same fight, or am I thinking about like a
Yeah,
different one? Yeah.
yeah,
Hit
no,
him with like fucking 10 uppercuts in a row, dude. I was like, was that fight or was it a different fight? It's been a few days now, so, and I only watched it like that one time, dude. But yeah, dude, hit him so many times, but just crushing my heart to see Luque lose like that. First time he ever gotten finished, man. Anything to add or your takeaway?
yeah, no, really more just the same thing. Luke is my guy, and I think he's too willing to take a shot to give a shot instead of he's a very slick counterpuncher, and instead of trying to maybe trying to slip and rip, try to get his head off the center line, he just keeps his head in the same position and keeps his hands up, and then he just tries to throw hooks off of that, and Jeff Neal just kept throwing that straight left and would just get off on an angle and just wouldn't give Luque a chance to really counter. And I thought Jeff Neal was just super clean. I thought one of the reasons why I picked Luque as well, not only is he one of my favorite fighters, but I thought based on Jeff Neal, his last couple of performances, he got a split decision whenever Ponzinibbio and the Wonder Boy and the Neil Magny fight. He looked pretty lackluster, so we didn't know what kind of Jeff Neal we were going to get, because we do know that the the highest potential of him, he's capable of performances similar to the one that he just put on this past weekend. And to be the first person to finish Vicente Luque, I mean, hats off to him, man. And I think he, just as far as how he matches up with a lot of guys up at the top of that division, dude, his striking is super lethal. And when you get him at his best, he's dangerous. And I think he could beat just about, anybody up at the top of the division.
Indeed, man. It is a tough division, though. 170, dude, is a murderer's row for pretty much anyone. We got Shavkat, we got Khamzat, Sean Brady, dude. That's 3 undefeated fighters in the top 10, yeah? Like, that's
3 of them. And
crazy,
then,
dude.
yeah, and I mean, like him or not, Bilal Muhammad is a good fighter as well.
And
Leon
Usman's
Edwards,
only lost once.
Yes, so I mean, that it is a division full of sharks, and let's not forget Gilbert Burns as well. So,
dude, just a
yeah, I mean,
murderer's row, dude. I fucking love the UFC.
Yeah.
I just get so hyped. Just that's why we have this fucking podcast, dude. Like in my head, I would just be cheesing right now. Like, oh my god, all the matchups, dude. I'm so glad that we have this podcast, dude. But now is kind of when card kind of falls off the cliff. We got little brother of Kamaru Usman, Muhammad Usman, taking on Zach Palga, dude. Zach Palga came out, opened up with a fucking karate flying kick out of nowhere. And I guess it was just pretty much a point fight throughout like the first round. It was a big Usman kind of fucking. And then, like, Zach Palga is the fucking smaller guy, darting in and out, trying to kick him, but not really doing much. And then round 2 opened up and let us know what happened.
Oh yeah, Usman he ended up kind of fading back after Palga threw that big right hand, and or I'm sorry, it was a left hand that he threw, and he kept his right hand down. Usman throws the check left hook, lands it clean on his nose. It wasn't even a big wind up from Usman either, just a small little just tap right on the nose, and Palga is just lights out, goes asleep. And to be honest, the way that fight was going, it was going in Palga's way until Usman landed that shot. But it just goes to show at heavyweight, just that one shot is all it takes to put anybody out. And to give Muhammad Usman a lot of credit, he was losing that fight and he did kind of stay in there. And it was a perfect shot that he landed in order to get the job done.
Indeed. How do you like the Francis comparisons so far?
I don't. Yeah, I don't like the Francis comparison. I think Francis is a much cleaner boxer overall. I think Muhammad Usman obviously has power. I told you that I had sent you a message and I said he is literally a carbon copy of Kamaru Usman. Like even his punches look like early Kamaru Usman before he got with Trevor Whitman and really evolved his striking. That's exactly how Kamaru Usman's striking looked. And Muhammad Usman doesn't have the same wrestling that Kamaru does to, that's that ace in his pocket just in case if he ever needs it. So I'm really interested to see kind of how he evolves. He's already, I think he's 33, 34 now. So I'm interested to see kind of how he's able to progress himself going up in the heavyweight division. But yeah, the Francis comparisons aren't there at all. I don't see it, at least. Other people could say just because he's a big, strong black guy that, oh yeah, that's Francis Ngannou. No, sir, it's not at all.
That's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up. But yeah, dude. Yeah, just I guess cool. I mean, I don't see him beating a whole lot of heavyweights like that are actually in the UFC. Like they're just gonna pretty much like outwork him, just fucking pick him apart, unless he gets someone that's also around his like level. But I mean, like at fucking 7-2, there's not many. Or yeah, I'm sorry, 9-2. Like there's not many. Like who are you gonna fight like at the heavyweights though? Like it's tough, dude. He's probably gonna have a rough go if you ask me.
Yeah,
anyway.
it really surprised me that he was 236 going into the fight as well. Just based on his size, because I didn't watch The Ultimate Fighter really thought that he was going to come in a little bit heavier, and to see him that light, and he's a little bit shorter as well. So yeah, he's almost a little bit undersized, even though his physique, he's ripped. He's in great shape, but he's almost undersized to be a heavyweight.
Yeah, indeed. So he wins the Ultimate Fighter heavyweight. Dorian actually picked him. I picked Zach Palga. So one dub on Dorian's side for the day. Brogan Walker taking on Juliana Miller. This one surprised the fuck out of me because on the Ultimate Fighter, dude, Brogan Walker looked like the more seasoned, like she could fight. And then when the fight opened up, it was like she looked like someone that looked like they just took 6 months like off of fucking training and then like, all right, I'm gonna go fucking beat this girl up now. She looked worse the other night than how she looked on the Ultimate Fighter. But on the other hand, fucking Juliana Miller didn't really wow me too much either. If I'm gonna be completely honest, she ended up getting like a third round TKO. She said she hates going to decision, but I mean it was kind of headed that way. But Brogan Walker just kind of, I don't really feel like she was ready for the fight that Juliana Miller had. And I think it just kind of surprised her. And then she didn't really know what to do once she kept getting taken down over and over. Anything on that fight, man? You're muted.
Oh yeah, because I had a little cough there, so I wanted to get myself muted while you're making your point. But no, I had seen the preview going in, and I know that Juliana Miller said that Brogan Walker might be the more technical fighter everywhere, but the only thing that she could say that she had more of was more heart than Brogan Walker, and I really think that she really showed that because she is very raw going into the fight. She was 2-1 professionally, so you can see that the rawness is there. But she did say what she was going to do and go out there and go for the finish. And I did like that. It was the fight at the most aesthetically pleasing. No, it wasn't that fun of a fight, but she did, go out there and dominate the fight. And then out there in the third round, she landed some vicious elbows on Brogan Walker, and she ended up dotting up her eye pretty damn good with some of that ground and pound, and was able to finally get her out of there. And I love the Shawn Michaels Triple H DX chop right at the end too. Oh yeah, standing over and doing the DX chop, that took me back to the WWE days. So yeah, definitely. I like the attitude on her for sure. She got a chip on her shoulder.
And even more to my Usman point, dude. She's now 4-1, dude. Who is she gonna fight at 125 that she's gonna beat at 4-1, dude? That's really rough, dude. I know like the 125s aren't too deep, dude, but who's in the division that's not gonna beat her, dude?
I mean, you're not going to try to throw her up immediately. Most of those girls that end up fighting
There's
are
not even
a lot
anyone
of
in the
times.
division, dude. There's like 15 fighters in the division. Like the top
But dude,
15 is the whole
that's
division.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A lot of the times, from certain seasons of like the Ultimate Fighter, they'll end up signing a lot of the girls from the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
can
you're
see her
right.
fighting. I can see her fighting recycled versions of those, and then a lot of times Contender Series as well. If you end up getting young 125ers as well, those are a lot of the matchups that the UFC is making nowadays.
But
So I could see
but
them
at
potentially matching her up with young fighters like that.
at 5 fights, it's like, oh Jesus, like
I mean, no. I mean, it is. It's very hard. So, I mean, you're going to have to get your experience in the UFC. But I think as far as the matchmaking, with the Ultimate Fighter winners as well, Dana has a special place for them for some reason. Because I listened to his Contender Series post conference last night, and for some reason, he is just super adamant about that. The Ultimate Fighter is a machine that helps create stars. So I think for Juliana Miller, she does have a little bit of that spunky personality. So if they end up putting the right promotion behind her, they're smart enough to make the right matchups to try to help develop her going into the future.
fair enough. And the opener there of the main card, T-Rex, Terrence McKinney taking on the Ghost Pepper, Eric Gonzalez, dude. Tell us what happened.
Terrence McKinney really just came out and dominated the fight, just like the odds were. But came out, landed a couple big left hands, and dude, he just starts with this big ball of energy, and just came out and just tried to put the pedal to the metal. He actually ended up getting caught with a pretty big left hand from Eric Gonzalez, and kind of stumbled back a little bit. Eric Gonzalez kind of smelled the blood a little bit, went to go in for the finish. Terrence McKinney gets the takedown, ends up getting him, or Eric Gonzalez gets back up on the fence, but Terrence McKinney ends up taking the back, and people really underrate him as far as his wrestling and his submission ability, because people, kind of call him a KO artist, but he's got 3 wins in the UFC right now, and 2 of them are submissions. So yeah, he's able to implement his wrestling, and he really did that to Eric Gonzalez and made easy work of him.
Indeed. We both did pick T-Rex there. Looks like I kind of skipped over the one that we did pick differently on. You did pick wrong on this one, dude. Agusto Sakai taking on Sergey Spivak. I really don't know why you picked Agusto Sakai. I feel like this was written like in the stars. This was exactly what was going to happen. I'm surprised it actually lasted that long. I thought maybe could have happened in the first round, but Agusto Sakai, pretty damn tough, dude. Lasted all the way midway through the second round, almost to the third round. Yeah, 3 minutes. And in the second round, ends up getting the TKO over Agusto Sakai there. Any takeaway, or why did you think that Agusto Sakai was going to win that one?
Oh, well, I thought that Augusto Sakai, he really needed to get a win. He's actually on a 3-fight winning streak or losing streak going into this fight. So a lot of times when fighters kind of have their backs against the wall, Sergey Spivak, he's a good heavyweight, but he's kind of middled out in the UFC for a little bit. It seems that he's starting to find his rhythm now, and he does have, I believe he's won 5 out of his last 6. So he is starting to get more of his rhythm now, as you can tell. But I thought maybe it was just Augusto Sakai's time to kind of get it right. And those types of fighters with the wrestling base, he's been able to kind of hold his own again. So I thought in that matchup he could as well. But Sergey Spivak was just relentless with those takedowns, relentless with the ground and pound, and just eventually wore on Augusto Sakai's gas tank and was able to get him out of there. And Sergey Spivak looked a lot bigger in that fight than what I've noticed him recently as well. And dude, I think he could potentially be a problem at heavyweight if he's able to keep reeling off wins like this.
It was a lot quicker to me personally, and he just had a solid jab on him, which really was busting Sakai up. And like you haven't really seen that from from Sergey Spivak too often. But you did pick incorrect on that one. I picked correct. We are tied right now. And the last one that we did pick differently on was that main event of the prelims, Sam Alvey versus Michel Olasejek, dude. I just thought Sam Alvey, dude. It was like, come on, dude. Just get your last one right off into the sunset. It isn't that I thought that he was going to win the fight. Like for sure as hell, I didn't put no money on him to win the fight, but I thought maybe he had a chance if he could last maybe to midway through the second round. Olasejek would maybe start to kind of like, okay, like I'm fucking not going to get this guy out of here, and maybe Sam Alvey can hit him with one of the hooks that he has, dude. He's just like. Just hoping that he can hit him with one of them, dude. But he ends up getting fucking crushed, dude. And man, I forgot who the fighter was that gave him shit after the fight, dude. But that was pretty fucked up. Like you're a top 10 UFC fighter, not the guy, but like he's a UFC fighter, and you're commenting like hateful shit like under fucking Sam Alvey, like you were never good, some shit like that, dude. It was pretty fucked up. It's like, damn, bro. Like, why are you kicking him while he's down? Like, as a fellow UFC fighter, that's pretty fucked up. But the only reason why I can't remember the guy's name is because he's not very good either. He is like fucking not in the fucking top 10, top 15 or anything like that. So, man. Anyway, so basically the takeaways from the main card and the card that we picked on. Dorian is this week's pick champ. I'm surprised he was able to contain himself this long. He's been waiting on this moment. He's been waiting on this moment like the past 30 minutes now.
Because
Yes.
I've been acting like a champion because champions have been here before. So,
the second
had
week
to hold
in
the
a
throne
row
down.
now. Second week in a row, Dorian gets the strap, but it's all right because he is confident that we are going to have very different picks this upcoming weekend. And when he says that he's confident that we're going to have very different picks, that surprises me because I don't know, like whenever I'm super confident on a fight, it usually happens. So I don't know if he's confident that we're going to pick different, I'm for sure winning that shit back this week, man. But before we get into that next week's card, let's go over some fight news real quick. Off the top, I do remember, I just now saw it earlier today that Uriah Hall retired, dude. Any thoughts?
Yeah, well, I thought that it was about, I don't want to say about time for him, but he was kind of at that middling point to where, all they're going to do is feed him to the young and up and coming contenders in the middleweight division. And I think that Uriah Hall just doesn't want to be used as a gatekeeper at this point. He's taken enough losses. He's had his chance to kind of climb back up to the top. He was able to kind of put one final run there before that Sean Strickland loss. And I think after that and the Muniz loss, don't really think there's much there for him to fight for. One of the big things for him was that he was always kind of known as the guy that didn't have all his heart all the way into the fight game. People always question him about not having enough heart and stuff like that. And I don't want to say that he never did, but maybe just he's one of those guys. He's smart enough to realize when the time is time. And if he's actually walking away, hats off to him. And he still had, while people might say it was a little bit of an underwhelming career, still a good career in a top 10 middleweight for a long time in the UFC.
Shout out Prime Time. The head kick will forever live in Tough history, dude. Like they're going to replay that shit as like the highlight of Tough ever, dude. That fucking spinning head kick, dude. But shout out Prime Time. Fights announced since this past weekend. Dorian actually mentioned it earlier in the show, and I haven't even seen it yet, but Volkan Oezdemir versus Nikita Krylov. That is added to UFC 280 on October 22nd. This is a pretty good one, man. Randy Brown versus Francisco Trinado added to the October 1st card. And pretty much the talk of the past little bit now, it's official, dude. UFC what is it, 281 in MSG, Izzy versus Alex Pereira, dude. It's going to be sick. Immediate thoughts on that?
I think it's going to be a much more fun fight than Izzy's last couple fights have been. I think that Alex is going to definitely put his foot on the gas and put the pressure on Izzy pretty quick, and I want to see how Izzy responds. Izzy seems to be absolutely fired up for this fight. He's been saying that he's wanting to get his hands on Alex Pereira for a long time, and the opportunity is here. And I'm absolutely pumped up for that fight. And it sounds like they're going to try to load up that card too. Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler on that card as well as was rumored to be. So they're going to load up that card like that. Yeah, I'm going to be absolutely pumped. And that main event is just going to be the cherry on top.
Indeed, man. It's going to be a banger for sure. So if you remember last week, Waldo Cortez Acosta from the Contender Series, yeah? Do you remember him, like the heavyweight guy, like the MLB, or not the MLB player, but like the pro baseball player, the heavyweight guy? He's going to be fighting.
Yeah, I remember the guy.
Jared Vandera on October 29th.
Oh, wow.
We got Ricky Tercios from Tough going to be taking on Kevin Navid. I just now saw it. And Natividad. There we go. I shouldn't exit off of it. Abubakar Nurmagomedov versus Gadzi Omar Gadzhiev. Dude, the names this week. Jesus.
They're a little bit of a tongue twister there.
Indeed. Here's one, dude. I know who you're gonna be picking on like fucking this week, dude, but I can tell you neither one of these fighters are your favorites. At one point I was a huge Phil Hawes fan, but I am more a Roman Dolidze fan now. Roman Dolidze versus Phil Hawes. That's going to be October 29th.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Roman Dolidze is
Oh,
gonna
do you remember
run him
dude
over
that
probably.
just fought last week on the Contender Series, Victinas Salvador, like the 125 guy?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be fighting Cledshin
Vinicius.
Rodriguez October 29th. Already got a fight.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, he was super fun last week. So watching the Contender Series, all of his fights have been finishes too that he's won. So he's definitely a savage.
And lastly, just announced 9 minutes ago, Tagir Ulanbekov, that's Khabib's guy, going to be taking on Nate Maness, dude. Knocked out Tony Gravely. Not cool, but should be a banger of a fight. Nate Maness brings the pressure. He ain't going to give up no matter what, dude. Going to be in your face no matter what. But that's all the fight news. You got anything to add for the news this week, man?
No, not anything. I haven't seen anything in particular. I hadn't been popping off too much, but just super pumped for that Alex and Izzy fight, man. November can't come soon enough, dude.
Yeah, dude. It just kind of a low week on the news, but I almost feel like I've seen some stuff, but it's like it's not on my fucking like my news thing that I usually check to see where the news was at. But that being said, dude, let's not spend any more time on this. Move on down to this weekend's fight cards. Put that strap up on the line this week because you're not going to have it this week because I am going to win
Get the
that shit back.
strap.
How
Get the
like the
strap.
longest you've ever had this thing is like I don't know, like 2 weeks, some shit like that. But
Yeah,
so we
right.
gotta
Don't try to curse yourself. Don't curse yourself.
so we gotta grab this shit back this week. We're gonna make our picks right now for this upcoming weekend's fight card. Cheetah Vera taking on Dominic Cruz in that main event. Nate Landwehr taking on David Onama. Yasmin Jurguay taking on Lasmin Luciendo. Hopefully, I didn't butcher those. Devin Brown Bear Clark taking on Azamat Mirzakhanov. Aaron Lipsky going to be taking on Priscilla Cachoeira this week, maybe. Cynthia Calvio going to be taking on the wife of your double champion, Nina Nunez. Bruno Silva or Dorian Rose is going to be taking on GM3 Gerald Mearshart. For those of you who don't know, if you're still watching this, leave in the comments. Does Bruno Silva look like Dorian Rose? I put a picture of it up there like the last time that he fought, and it was unanimous. Yes, he does look like him. Granted, I was the only one that that said that, but yeah, Dorian going to be fighting this week
You rigged the
against
polls.
GM3. Dorian going to be fighting this week against GM3. That's Bruno Silva. Angela Hill going to be taking on Lupita Godinez. Shout out Lupi Godinez. Martin Bude taking on Lucas Berzeski. I think I said that right. Gabriel Benitez taking on Charlie Otaveros. That's the guy that Kevin Holland slammed and broke his collarbone or his neck or something like that. Odie Osborne taking on Tyson Nam. Yusuf Salah taking on Damon Blackshear. And that is it for this week, dude. So kind of a shitload of fights. A few names kind of pop off. Dude, we got a lot of fights this weekend. So I'm sure we're able to pick three of them on the difference there. So let's start off, man. Main event, Marlon Vera taking on Dominic Cruz. Off the top, I said it last time Cruz fought, dude. I thought he looked way slower than he did look. And the way Cheeto fights, dude, is he doesn't play the game that you're playing, dude. He gets in your face and he makes you fight him. And Cruz, he's not as fast as he once was. And later on in the rounds, dude, he's going to start to slow down. And that's when Cheeto really picks up like the pace. I could see Cheeto losing the first round, maybe the first two, but I can really see Cheeto winning 3, 4, and 5. For sure, Cheeto getting like the decision, maybe even late 3, late round 4 fucking stoppage, dude. Cheeto's winning this for sure, in my opinion. Where are you going with this?
And I don't know why, but I think this is such a it's such an interesting matchup. I think that for Marlon Vera, he's trying to ascend his way to the top of the division in order to get a title shot. And I think for Dominic Cruz, he's trying to come back and get back to his winning ways and try to get back to that title shot and try to get it back one more time and seal his legacy as the greatest bantamweight of all time. So I think for that, it's such an interesting matchup. And I think for Marlon Vera, he's such a savage. He's just got like this mean streak to him when he goes in and fights. He throws these just lead elbows. He's just going in there to cut you. It doesn't seem like his skin is made of like iron, because like he never gets cut. He never seems to really get hurt at all. He's just in there. He's got an iron chin. Great cardio. Good finishing instinct when he sees the opportunity. I do think Dominic Cruz, he's got really good footwork, just the same old, great cardio, good wrestling, good boxing. He comes with the unorthodox strikes and lands at, weird angles and is able to get in and out of there. And I think this is going to be our first different pick, because I think that Dominic Cruz is going to be in San Diego. Keep in mind as well, as that's where Dominic Cruz is from. So you might have the crowd maybe sway the judges in one way to where maybe if it was in the Apex, the sound might be a little bit different of the impact of the strikes. So I think Dominic Cruz is tough. I think he's able to land more than Marlon Vera is. More just go in there, get hit, not get hit as much as possible, and ride off with a decision win.
Interesting, dude. Interesting, because you are a big Cheeto Vera fan, dude. But you said it like yourself, dude. Cheeto makes people like the knees, like the elbows. Like that's exactly what I meant. Like when I said like he makes you fight him. Like he's not like fucking point fighting. Like he's in there in your face, and if you get tired, well, you're going to see who's tougher, dude, who's got a better chin, who wants this more. And I believe at this point, dude, Cheeto Vera is that guy, dude. They do both train, or they, Cruz is from there, but Cheeto trains, like in California. I'm not sure if it's in fucking San Diego or not, but he does train there. So I'm sure Cheetah Vera will definitely have some fans there as well. But I'm really surprised you are going Dom Cruz there. I could see him. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I could see Dom Cruz using his footwork to decision. But when you say he's going to get outpointed, Rob Font also outpointed Cheeto Vera. But Cheeto Vera also knocked his fucking block off every single round and therefore won him the fight. So I got Cheeto Vera here. You're going Dom Cruz. Let's move on down to the co-main event, dude. Nate, the Train Landwehr, got power in these hands. They're going to be taking on David Onama, man. This one's a tough one for me because David Onama is good. Me and you are both huge James Krause fans. Shout out Coach Krause. And David Onama is one of those Coach Krause guys. Greatly trained dude. I watch Coach Krause's podcast, and like just the way that he just talks about them, but he also talks about all of his fighters like they're the greatest thing on this earth, like they're shit don't stink. But one thing that he did say was that Onama tends to fight down to his opponent's ability or up to their ability. That being said, dude, if Nate Landwehr comes in there throwing, swanging, and banging, dude, this has makings to be fucking fight of the night if they're both just in there throwing haymakers. I do believe that David Onama has more power, but Nate Landwehr has shown that he can also get those subs too. I'm rocking with Nate the Train here, baby. Let's go, Nate Train.
Oh wow, yeah, that's actually really surprising. So I guess that's another difference in our picks because I'm definitely going with Anama. Anama has a lot more of the upside. He's shown the finishing instinct that he has. He I think his only loss is to Mason Jones in the UFC, and he's been able to put on some pretty decent performances as well. I think Mason Jones only got one or two losses as well. So Nate Landwehr, he gets hit just a little bit too much for my liking. A lot of times when he gets taken out early as well. So I think if there's a possibility of anything or anybody getting the finish, I think it'd be David Anama and getting it early, maybe rounds 1 or 2. But yeah, give me David Anama.
Dorian thinks David Onama is going to derail the Nate train, but I'm rocking with the Nate train. Let's go the train, Nate Landwehr. All right, dude.
Ooh.
So two different ones there. Yasmin Juriguay going to be taking on Lasmin Luciendo, dude. I believe these are both two newcomers to the UFC. Haven't heard of either one of them. I'm going to defer to you, dude. Do you know anything about either one of these fighters? And if not, then we'll just kind of move along. I did hear something about like Yasmin Uruguay. She is 8-0, and I heard that like she was just basically like a fucking hammer, but I haven't really looked more into that. That's just all that I heard. Anything from you?
Yeah, just about the same. I'm trying to actually sit here and look at their topology now to see if I have any resemblance of their fight history. Both of them have, pretty good records coming in, but both it looks like both of them are actually making their UFC debut at the moment. So that's pretty
Yeah.
that's actually pretty interesting as well. So yeah, going to be interesting to see for sure. But yeah, not as much knowledge on either women.
All right, let's see if we have another difference here. We got the brown bear, Devin Clark, going to be taking on Azamat Mirzakhanov, dude. Azamat Mirzakhanov, something like that, dude. I'm done with the fucking names today, dude. They just kill me on the news, the
They're stumbling
fights
you up a
last
little
week,
bit.
dude. Fucking everywhere, dude. The question is, which brown bear Clark's going to show up, man? Because we've seen some good brown bear Clarks, and we've seen some ones that aren't the best, dude. And if you just look at the names, and I told you this was striker versus like fucking wrestler, you'd be like, oh, fucking Azamat's for sure the wrestler. Indeed, not, dude. Azamat, a fantastic kickboxer. Brown Bear Clark, a pretty solid wrestler, dude. If like fucking Devin Clark can't get this down to the ground, man, I do believe he's gonna have some issues taking on Azamat. I'm gonna go Azamat here, dude. How are you going?
And I think that's probably number 3 for us. So, because I actually think Devin Clark. Well, for me, I thought Asmrat. I thought in his first fight against Nchukwi, he was actually losing that whole fight up until he landed that flying knee there at the end to sort of steal it. I think he almost looks even a little bit undersized at light heavyweight. He's kind of short and he's stocky. He's strong,
But so is
but
Devin Clark, though. Like he's not big
but
for 205 either.
but Devin Clark's legs also look like fire hydrants. So like like he's also like ripped. So like he can kind of make up for his inefficiency in height because he's absolutely jacked. Azamrat isn't really the same way. He's kind of got a plain physique, I guess I could say. He doesn't really have anything that's too outstanding. But I think, just as you said, the wrestling from Devin Clark, I think he's going to be able to use a lot of his experience, a lot of his wrestling ability, and I think he'll be able to either steal a decision or maybe even get a finish. Maybe like a submission, but let's go Devin Clark here.
Interesting. 11-0 taking on 13-6, and Dorian thinks that the 13-6 is going to get a finish over 11-0 Hazamat Mirzakhanov. Like, remember, you're thinking that right now, dude. Do you want to try to do 5 here, dude, or you just want to fucking stick with the 3?
Well, I mean, let's see
Like,
how it
let's just
goes.
see. Yeah, let's just see. We got
Yeah, let's
Ariane
see how it
Lipski
goes.
taking on Priscilla Cachoeira, dude. Last week, Ariane Lipski did not make weight, but Priscilla Cachoeira did make weight, dude. We don't. Like, we both did pick like fucking Lipski last week, but we didn't know like there was going to be a weight issue, and then the fight was going to be moved to this card from last week. So I'm going to defer to you, dude. We did pick like fucking Lipski last week. Probably going to rock that way again just because she didn't cut as much like weight last week. Any other opinion from you this week, or you gonna fucking
Yeah,
rock with it the same way?
yeah, I think it's really just the same thing, just a different fight card. I think Lipski's a little bit more well rounded, and I think she's a little more technical. Cachoeira is good for going in there, getting in the brawl. She's a grimy fighter. She'll go in there and make the fight dirty. But I do think that Ariane Lipski, I think she'll be able to get the dub.
We might see an eye poke on Saturday night. So same pick on that one. We got Cynthia Calvio taking on Nina Nunez, dude. This one scares me because neither one of them are good, dude. Gun to my head, if you had to ask me, I'd probably say Nina Nunez just because Calvillo hasn't looked great recently. But on the other hand, how serious does like Nina Nunez take this like as a whole? Like, she just had a baby. She's just kind of like the housewife to the fucking double champion. She isn't the breadwinner. She just kind of does this shit for fun, basically. So it's like, how serious is she? Is she serious enough to beat Cynthia Calvillo? Maybe. I guess we'll find out. But I'm not putting either any of my fucking money riding on this fight. I'm not fucking locking this shit in at all, dude. This could truly go either way. I guess I'll go Nina here, but this truly could go either way. Neither one of them are spectacular fighters, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'll keep it short here. I'll keep it kind of the same way. I'll go with Nina as well. I think Calvillo in her last couple of performances hadn't really been too inspiring. You know, she had that loss to Andrade, and getting finished by Andrade didn't anything to kind of give somebody crap over because it is Jessica Andrade. But the Andrea Lee fight, she ended up saying that she's got so much heart, and then she ended up quitting on the stool after the second round. She's really put on some weird performances as of late, man, and I just don't know if maybe if she's there or all with it. I do think that Nina, she had looked good on that winning streak before she had went through the pregnancy and had her child and everything, and I think she ended up coming back and fighting Mackenzie Dern. So I mean, Mackenzie Dern is a tough fight to come back to after being off for, I believe she was off for what, 3 years, 2 or 3 years before she ended up coming back and going through childbirth as well. So I think that Nina is a little bit more well rounded. Being around Amanda, inspiring her a little bit, I think she's able to get the job done.
I guess it just kind of worries me, like the whole training camp, like the situation, like and stuff. Is she how's her training? Like, because Amanda changed camps for her, but what's Nina doing? Like, is she trying to do the same thing? And how's it working? Like I said, dude, this fight terrifies me. I am not betting this fight at all. How are you feeling betting wise on this fight? You said that if Calvillo was the favorite, then you'd put money on like Nina. How confident are you in that?
I mean, I'd probably put it like in a little small parlay. I'd probably clip it to a couple of favors just to make sure that I'm able to get the return that I want to try to get on that. But I mean, I believe she's like a minus 140 right now. So I mean, it's worth throwing a little change at for her being an underdog against Calvillo, who, as I said, hasn't really put forward too many inspiring performances in her last couple.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So that is the main card. Alexa Grasso versus Viviane Araújo did fall out, and thankfully, because I hate that card. I hate that fight. I don't like it at all, dude. Dorian knows why. Pretty much my two favorite fighters at 125, dude. It's like, what the fuck? So thankfully I don't have to pick against either one of them. But Dorian going to be fighting GM3, dude. I believe Dorian's probably going to get the victory over GM3 in the main event of the prelims like this week. When I say you, Dorian, I mean Bruno Silva is going to be fighting GM3.
You mean
That's
I'm gonna get this win? You know.
Bruno Silva taking on GM3. So I guess we got our fucking 3 picks like this week, dude. We got uh the main event, co-main event, and then Brown Bear Clark taking on Azamat, dude. So that's the 3 that we're gonna pick different on. Prelims real quick. Bruno Silva taking on GM3. Who you got here, man? How you think it's going? And dude, GM3 gets no easy fights.
He literally is always thrown into the gauntlet with the heavy hitters. And Bruno Silva, he put forward a good performance against Alex
Gregory
Pereira, even though
Rodriguez too.
yeah, definitely. Even though he did, yeah, he did put Gregory Rodriguez on his wallet, and then he had a good fight against Alex Pereira before. You know, he did end up losing the fight, but he ended up putting a lot of
He
pressure on
didn't get
Alex
knocked
Pereira.
out.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He got hurt a couple times, but he ended up actually coming back, and I think it was the second round he ended up winning. It was one of the rounds he actually ended up sneaking and winning, but no, he's a dog, man. GM3 gets no easy fights, but man, I think he might get finished this weekend. Bruno's a savage, man. They might say we don't talk about Bruno, but we talk about Bruno in this house.
Indeed. Old D-Rose is going to get that dub this weekend against GM3. We got Angie Overkill Hill going to be taking on Lupita Godinez at a catch weight of 120 pounds. Angie Hill, man, 13-12. If she loses this, dude, she'll be 13-13. Going to be taking on Lupi Godinez. Lupi Godinez, a powerhouse for 115. This isn't 125, but dude, she's slinging these girls around like they're fucking pillows, dude. She's just tossing them up and just, dude, she is a problem for anyone that she gets her hands on in this smaller weight class. That being said, I don't know what the octagon size could be like this weekend. I don't know who the judges are like this weekend. I'm going to be rooting for Lupi Godinez, but I could 100% see Angie Hill just keeping the distance with the side kicks, the teep kicks, just bam, bam, jab, jab, stick and move. But if Lupi Godinez gets her hands on her, dude, Angie Hill's going for a ride. Angie Hill is not known to have the best takedown D in the game. So that being said, I got to rock with Lupi Godinez. I'm going to be rooting for her, but if Angie over Hill got the dub here, it wouldn't surprise me. But I'm going for Lupi.
Yeah, I think you pretty much summed it up well. I think Lupi, she's going to be able to use her wrestling. Angela Hill, she's always, a fan favorite and everything. But I do think that as far as wrestler matchups, she does tend to struggle. And I think that Lupi is going to be able to give Angela Hill a lot of problems, and she'll be able to get the win.
Fair enough. Martin Bude going to be taking on Lucas Brzezinski. I'm going to pass with you here, man.
Well, hot potato. Yeah, hot potato. I believe Martin Boudet. The name does kind of sound familiar now that I'm hearing it. I believe he might have had a Contender Series fight. Yeah, he did have a Contender Series fight. Oh, he is the guy also who had the weird knee situation against Chris Barnett. If that sheds any light on it, but as far as who I know, I'm gonna have to hot potato pass back.
Exactly. So moving on down, Gabriel Benitez is going to be taking on Charlie Oliveros. Got to rock with the more experienced guy here. Gabriel Benitez is 22-11, going to be taking on Charlie Oliveros, 11-8. And I saw Charlie Oliveros get slam knocked out by Kevin Holland. Got to go with Gabriel Benitez here. 5'7", going to be taking on 6'2", so massive height and reach disadvantage for Gabriel Benitez. Any thoughts on this one, man?
Dude, Charlie Ontiveros fought Kevin Holland at 185, and they're actually taking this fight at 155. So that's pretty damn crazy if you think about that. Gabriel Benitez is a true 45er, and he's actually taking the fight at 55. So the fight's actually pretty interesting. But Gabriel Benitez, as you said, the more UFC experienced guy, he has had a couple of bad performances here as of late, but he did get finished by David Onama as the guy who's fighting on the co-main event. So no shame in that, but I do think the more experienced guy, Gabriel Benitez, should be able to get it done.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Ode Osborne going to be taking on Tyson Nam, dude. Who you got here?
Ode Osborne's a savage, man, and I think that he might even be able to get a finish. That's actually one of the bets. As soon as the props become available, I'm going to put that he's going to be able to get a finish. That's one thing Ode Osborne does when he goes in and gets a finish, or when he goes in and gets a win, he typically gets a finish as well. So give me Ode.
Same, man. I'm rocking with Ode Osborne as well. Yusuf Salah taking on Damon Blackshear. I don't know who Damon Blackshear is. But Yusuf, like Salah, I guess he's shown flashes that he can be good. Have I been impressed by him? No, I have to be honest, not really. Anything on that fight, man?
Yeah, honestly, not really too familiar with I uses the law a little bit, but Blackshear not as much. Looks like this is going to be his UFC debut coming in from CFFC. So one of those regional breeder programs that the UFC usually uses and brings in some pretty tough guys. But I do think the more UFC experienced guy, Zalal, let's go ahead and ride with him, just because that's the guy who I kind of a little bit know more about.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's probably the way I'm going to rock too. So that is the fights for this weekend, man. That is all the picks. We are probably going to rock with. Kind of broke them down for you there too. The three that we are going to pick different on. Dorian's going to pit that strap up on the line is the main event. Cheetah Vera taking on Dom Cruz. Nate the Train Landwehr taking on David Onama. And then Azamat Mirzakhanov taking on Devin Brown Bear Clark. Your boy's coming home with that next week, so don't forget it. That being said, man, that's I don't really have much more. Anything before we get out of here, my guy?
The champ is here to stay. The champ is here to stay.
All right.
The champ is here.
So, no. Anyway, that's us here this time. Matt Anderson, Dorian Rose. This is the Golden Octagon MMA podcast. We'll catch y'all next week. You'll catch me Monday. See y'all for a car video. That's all from us here this time. Catch y'all next week. Peace.